Good morning, everybody. Depending on what part of the country you're at, hope everybody's doing good on this lovely Saturday. We are going to have a NickSclusive with Mr. Leon from All That. So I'm pretty excited. He should be joining us here in just a moment. He did send me a. There he is right there. Told me that he was ready and raring to go. So he should be joining us in just a second. As I stand here awkwardly waiting. There. I'm here, gonna invite a few. Okay. He's inviting some people, so we'll wait a minute. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm pretty excited. This is gonna be cool. I always get excited when I get to do these things. And Leon, I had been talking with him for a couple of weeks, and it was just a matter of waiting on a good time that we could get together and do this. So I'm pretty excited. He sent me a request to join, so I am gonna invite him right here. What up?
Alex, what it do, man?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Blessed. You know, it's Saturday morning. My birthday's coming up in a couple days. My birthday's July 6th. Should I tell? Should I tell my age? um, I'll be 35, man. So, I'm feeling blessed to be alive.
Hey, join the club. That's where I'm at.
Hey, there we go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. So I guess we can go ahead and get on into it because I've got several that some of our followers have given. And I apologize that some of these are ones that you've had 100 times, but a lot of people haven't seen some of these things. So,
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm seasoned at answering certain questions. So it just makes it. I'll just try to make it as interesting as possible. So.
Oh, cool. So probably one of the ones I imagine you get most often is, what do you remember from auditions for All That?
So I did a little Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? I get my Mike Tyson impression back then. I definitely did some Jim Carrey. If y'all remember, goddamn, what was it? Fire Marshal Bill. Definitely was big on Jim Carrey. I was a big In Living Color fan back then. So anything that crossed that territory, I tried to interpret and put in. But as far as like the audition process, I just remember there was just a whole bunch of them. I think I want to say I went in at least 3 or 4 times, and on the last one was actually at Nickelodeon on Sunset, and everybody just kind of came out at the end, met my mom, said hi, and shook hands, and like you just got a good feeling once that happened, because that has never happened at any other auditions. But I've heard that story from other people in the cast, like Christy. She tells the story of them all coming out, meeting her parents, and I think they put the jacket right on her, the All That jacket, Nickelodeon jacket, so it was more apparent with her. But yeah, man, those were the two that I remember standing out. Was definitely that Mike Tyson, that Mike Tyson and Fire Marshal Bill were the 2 impressions that I did for sure. Oh, and also did a little bit of rapping. I definitely did some musical stuff because I was big on rapping back then.
Awesome. And I don't know if I imagine this probably came more from the writers, but do you know where the idea for the Leroy and Fuzz came from?
Yeah, I think I would just give the writers 100% credit on that, but also it's just my personality. I think, especially back then in the 90s, so many young Black boys were just seen as like not the troublemakers, but the skeptics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think they were just kind of playing on a trope, a little bit, but absolutely it was just part of my personality to be like, huh? Like I was just that kid that was always questioning things, and I was good in intention, but bad in nature. I would say that. So
I've got a 7-year-old, and I had just introduced him not too terribly long ago to All That, and All That was not All That. Good Burger was one of his favorites, as is many people, but he loved the Leroy and Fuzz. That's the one that he wanted me to stop and play it again. He didn't do that with any of the Good Burgers. He loves the Leroy and Fuzz, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, I mean, it was a special skit. It was a special skit, like, because obviously you get like the comparisons to Sesame Street, Hood Sesame Street, and it's like me, and I have my own Elmo to play off. So that's always going to be, something that I'll cherish. Because yeah, and also the topics. When you're talking about brushing your teeth, making your bed, and being with the babysitter, going to school, doing your homework, these are topics that will never go away. So I'm just waiting for them to reprise it. It's gonna come up somewhere where I'm waiting for TikTok to go crazy with it. So, in fact, I need to put it up there myself because some of the things that Leroy says are just hilarious. And then obviously Fuzz is getting sent off to the moon and rocketed off the bed, and when we put him in like the lawnmower thing, I don't all kind of stuff. He's then got thrown everywhere. So definitely a classic skit in my humble opinion.
Yes, it really is. I think that's one of the best ones. So outside of, because every single time I see you on social media, everyone always wants to do Leroy and Fuzz. I mean, that's one of the most iconic. How often do you get recognized as CJ from CJ and the Cloudy Nights?
People don't bring it up too much, not too much. And I'll just say in general, I don't get recognized like out in the street that often. People will just be like, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" Like it's always that. Where did I know you from? I feel like I met you before. But it's never like clear. Oh, you were Leroy. It's very rare, unless I have on something like this, my official, my personal merch. Then people might recognize. But nah, I never got like, hey, you was that boy that was acting like Michael Jackson in that 70s skit, which which is actually when people ask me, that's always my personal favorite. That was one of my personal favorite skits, getting into play CJ of the Cloudy Nights. Because one, I'm the lead. Well, although Keenan and Kel were hilarious in that scene, and they really did carry the scene, just to be honest. But I was got to lead them in a scene for once, which is very rare because they're always up front and center. So I always cherish that moment of being the focus of that scene. And then on top of that, like I said, I had a huge interest in singing and dancing. So for them to write that skit up for me and allow me to get those skills out on national television was a blessing for sure.
Yeah, those were some pretty cool ones. It was cool to watch the attention focus from some of the more veteran actors to some of the newer casts. So that was really cool to see. Did you watch all that before you auditioned for the show?
Hell yeah. And going in, and I could have included that as part of my audition process. Like, once the audition came across the table, I was probably more juiced than ever as a young actor. In fact, I'm trying to find this damn journal, but I do have a journal, like an entry when I was in like maybe second grade, talking about how I wanted to be on All That, how I wanted to be on Nickelodeon, and how I loved Keenan and Kel. And specifically, I wanted to be on All That. And I really, to be honest, my acting is not my passion. But comedy, being part of the culture, being around those music artists, being around Keenan and Kel, those are things that really relate to me and still do to this day. So yeah, I loved All That. Loved Mavis and Clavis and love Pizza Face. I love $4 billion. Loved Ross Perot. Loved Ross Perot. Shout out to my girl Katrina. Randy and Mandy, all those guys. Earboy, man, who didn't love Earboy? And they came up a little bit during my seasons. Earboy once or twice. You can't forget about Principal Pimpel.
Yep.
Oh man, I think those were probably my favorite skits heading into it. Where I can't remember the name of the high school. I want to say like Boulder Dash, but it wasn't. All the high school skits were just hilarious. Pizza Face, Earboy, Miss Pimpel, and then Ross Perot she would pop up in all the skits. So I'm sure she was there too.
She was.
Yeah.
Hey, easy. My cat's trying to attack my hand. Who on the cast were you most excited to meet?
Prime. I got my podcast partner Prime. He's in the chat. He said it was Dolmont High. So yeah, that was mine. What did I say? Boulder Dash? That's like some kind of famous place. Most excited to meet. I would definitely say Keenan and Kel. I don't know if I could choose between the two of them. I don't know if I could choose between the two of them. The kid in me would say Kel, but like the elder me would definitely say Keenan. Because that damn Pierre Escargot, certain skits, yeah, certain skits of Keenan to me just really touch me. And then Kel, he's just the amazing personality. He's the guy you really want to be around. No shade to Keenan, but like if you want to meet somebody and like get the full fan experience, that Kel Mitchell is definitely the guy. So I would say the two of them. I just thought about something. I'm not gonna say that.
That's cool. Not a problem. Let's see. Somebody did ask, did the cast get along as well as it came across? And did you connect with any one person more so than the others?
Oh, that's easy. Amanda Bynes was definitely like my best friend on the show. Everyone else was, I want to say Danny and Christy, they were about 17, 18 when I first started, but then they became adults during my tenure there. And me and Amanda, we're like 3 months apart. She's a little bit older than me, but we were definitely the babies on set. And so we were, attached at the hip. Like I have literally almost hundreds of pictures of the two of us just hanging out. I've been to her house. She's been to plays of mine outside. So we've hung out outside the set as well. Other people I was close with, definitely Danny Tamborelli. He taught me bass guitar and showed me a lot of cool music. I always credit him with him putting me onto the Roots. Never had heard of him before. He put me onto that Things Remembered album. And then and also Mark Saul. When Mark Saul came on, in season 5, me and him got tight real quick. In fact, you can see me and Amanda right here just chilling. Oh, and can you see CJ right there? You can see the bottom.
I get it.
Another Amanda. Wait, another Amanda right here. Yep, me and Amanda always kicking it. But yeah, me and Mark became real tight. Played basketball together. I went to his house. He came to mine. Stuff like that too. And then, as far as the cast being tight knit. I would say at the time I couldn't see any rifts. I was so young. I was also going to school on set and not able to get that outside experience. So at the time I would say I thought we were thick as thieves, but looking back, I could see where there was some separation. And then I'll just, shout out to my girl Lori Beth, but she was always so much more serious and older than us, and it was like I was scared of Lori Beth. Like she was like that person you don't want to like trip over and stuff, and like make sure you don't get in the way or be too loud around her and stuff like that. I love her to death now, but yeah, I was scared of her.
Let's see. Was there anyone? Yeah, I just asked that one. Did you get to hang out with any of the musical guests?
Nah, man, not really. I remember a couple, and again, I was just so young, and these were grown adults, and like sometimes they would even, I remember Brittany and NSYNC, they literally like locked us out of our own green room. We couldn't even be around them. I remember Wyclef Jean, he came on the week that I was actually CJ in the Cloudy Nights.
Mm-hmm.
He approached me about actually getting a record deal with him and actually singing for him, which I wish I would have been more serious. I mean, I think we tried to contact him, but I wish I would have been all over that. So that was an opportunity to, but like really the only person that I think that was my age that I did kind of connect with was probably Sammy. I believe he came on.
Mm-hmm.
He was a young singer at the time. People said we looked alike and all that. And I think we talked and kind of hooked up a little bit, but nothing like really serious where we like hung out. I would say Wyclef Jean was like the biggest, was the closest that I had to like actually getting around some people. But yeah, if I could do it all over again, I would absolutely try to take more advantage of those opportunities. I remember like Destiny's Child came on and I was like, nah, I don't want a picture with them. I'm cool. Like I literally turned down Beyonce and all of them for a picture. I was like, didn't even care. But Yeah, because I mean that was during No No No. I think it was same exact week as CJ and Cloudy Nights and Wyclef. I was way more in tune with Wyclef and his stuff. But he had produced that No 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 track, and he kind of had brought them on. So it just looked like they were second fiddle to Wyclef from from my view. But yeah, man, I wish, if I was older though, I would have, I would have been player in this situation.
Do you have a favorite musical guest who was on the show?
Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill, absolute. Like, she was on, I think, the 100th episode. She did the performance, I believe, from the Hollywood Bowl, so I never got to meet her in person. But yes, Lauryn Hill, I'm just a big fan of hers in general. She only has one album. I wish, come back to us, Lauryn. But yes, if I could choose one, it'd definitely be her. That's easy for me, actually.
And we had a few questions that were just posted. Did you feel any pressure as being part of the new cast members?
You know what? I didn't feel that pressure. And I'm lucky, I'm lucky to have been so young and naive, I think, in that sense. But, I had come from a background of stage plays and being in front of live audiences, and dancing as well. I did some background dancing and stuff. So I was just very in tune with being in front of crowds and just playing it up. I'll say when I did have the most pressure, though, was just performing Leroy and Fuzz in front of the live audiences. And that's because I'm in a scene by myself. It's very intensive as far as you remembering the lines. Usually if you're just in a line, you got the one line in the classroom, I'm Billy Foucault. It's like, yeah, that's hella easy. But, for a 10 to 12-year-old to basically be, I'm bouncing off Fuzz, but they can't see the puppeteer. So it's just like kind of me out there in front of the audience. So I think that was probably the most nerve-wracking thing. But as far as playing it up and making sure that I was like up to the par of the rest of the cast, I really didn't feel that pressure. I would say, maybe once it aired, you were like, oh, they didn't air me as much. And you kind of like notice.
Yeah.
But, that would be months later after taping. So in general, no. It was it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun on set.
Another question we had is, what is your favorite All That moment?
Favorite All That moment. And this is me on set or just all that in general?
Either one. I'd say what's one that you take more from your time there?
You know what? My favorite moments were always after the live shows. Well, one running on stage after a live performance was always the peak of the week. You get to run on stage with Ice Cube, get to run on stage with Britney Spears, run on stage with NSYNC. A lot of those scenes are not online because I think there's something with the music rights or something. Yeah. But there's just so many of those moments that are incredible, especially when you get to say, oh, we'll be back next week. I can't even remember, but as always, they chose 3 people to say the same 3 lines. And so you got chosen to say one of those lines and have the mic during one of those huge artists. That was always a very special moment. But really my top moment would always be after the live shows, signing autographs. Can you hear my kids in the back? They're going crazy.
Yeah, but it's fine.
Hey, Jordan, come on, man. Come on, bro. Trying to do something out here. Signing autographs for our fans. So after every show, they would all the fans that were in the live audience would line up. It'd be 200 or 300 people. They go right down this huge. We'd have it wasn't a table, but it was like a whole setup where all the cast members were right in a row. Me and Amanda were usually first, going crazy, just acting a fool. But fans were taking pictures with us, and we signed autographs every time. They'd ask us to personalize, and we'd always get to get our live jokes off and be very personable with the fans. That was always my favorite time, next to running on stage with the musical guests.
Yeah. And do you have the Fuzz puppet?
I don't have the Fuzz puppet. I have a Fuzz puppet. And shout out to my guy Fidel. He actually recreated Fuzz for me. I've been doing some Lee Boy and Fuzz skits here and there, and so every once in a while I pop them out. Y'all want to see Fuzz? Y'all want to see Fuzz? Look, you got a second? Hold on, I'll bring Fuzz out. Give me a second.
You're fine. This be cool.
All right, so yeah, we got Fuzz right here.
Oh man,
making a special appearance. Yeah, Leroy and Fuzz. So every once in a while, me and Fuzz, isn't that right, Leroy? Yes, no, it's Leroy now. Yes, it's Leroy now. Don't call him Leroy, call him Leroy. You guys got it? It's not all that, it's all swag. Yeah, all swag. But yeah, every once in a while, me and Fuzz, we pop up, we have skits. I like to talk about subjects that are near and dear to me. Like, this last summer, we went through the whole Black Lives Matter and all the election stuff and all the presidential stuff. So me and Fuzz had a ball just commentating. I'll just say that, everything that I said isn't necessarily from my perspective, but it is the perspective of black versus blue, right? Or black versus white, or red versus blue if you're talking politics. So we take on those roles, and we kind of, have the opposite. We have opposite opinions on these topics, and it's been a great time bringing it back. Yeah, Leroy, I'm so happy to be back with you, and we're on True 90's Nickelodeon interview. Yay! So I do have a Fuzz, like I said. My guy Fidel, shout out to Los Fidel once again. Oh, he's actually in the chat. Nick at Night. Wait. Yeah, you already know him, and you are the connection. So look, I'm shouting him out like
no.
Know, but they don't need to know that.
So when it's posted on IGTV later, the comments won't show up. So as Leon was saying, Fidel made one of those, and he had commented, if you would like to get a copy or get a Fuzz puppet, shout out to him. You can find him at Nick at 90's. So check him out. He's got some pretty cool content.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was in the chat at first. So he threw out that's me. Yeah, for sure. That's you, bro. Shout out to my guy, man. Huge supporter. Much love to my guy Fidel. And I think he had hooked us up back in the Facebook days before everything went haywire with that page. So I'm just glad that we can make this happen today.
Yeah, it's really cool. And again, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, so thank you. And Fidel, also, super awesome dude. Let's see. Back up where I was at. Have your kids watched all that?
They can't watch it. They don't think it's entertaining enough. I try to show them. Yeah, they're just not quite ready for the jokes. They're 5 and 3. They find certain things. They find some of the physical comedy funny every once in a while. But most of the time, they just think I'm trying to show off that it was me. And they're like, because, I do a podcast. I do the Prime Nostalgia podcast. So they're always seeing me doing that. So they just think I'm just pulling something up. They don't understand the gravity or the weight that it really held in the culture quite yet. But they will. I have showed them some of the newer, all that skits, the newer seasons. And they're a little bit more attracted to that. I think it's just, honestly, I just think it's the TV, the quality of the cameras. Because now they're just so used to those super high def. They're like, what is this old stuff? Because they hate when I put on old movies. Like, they're like, this is old. We want the new one. So they kind of look at all that as like, it's just old stuff, man.
Oh, man. We're old.
But I will say the Fuzz, they are, because I do have the physical Fuzz. They are kind of attracted to Fuzz when they see it, just only for like 30 seconds, and then they're like, it's just dad.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever just yell out, I'm Billy Foucault, just for absolutely no reason?
No. People would do it to me, though. People would do it to me, and I would always play and oblige and, make fun of it. But I do know that it's just a great random thing to yell out though. So whenever people do it to me, I definitely always play around. I would say maybe I did it on set. Maybe I did it on set to people and like maybe scare the assistant director. I'm Billy Fuco, like pop out from behind the set and stuff, and like out of makeup. Look, imagine the makeup artist is all in your. I'm Billy Fuco. They're all in your face and stuff. I might have done some stuff like that because I was definitely a prankster back then. But you know, I spent a lot of years actually hiding that I was on all that, man. It was unfortunate that it was kind of looked at as corny in the LA scene. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure like outside of LA, it's a little bit different of a reaction. But you know, there's so many stars out here and so many actors, and so to be the Nickelodeon kid wasn't always as glamorous as some people might think. So a lot of times I just swept it under the rug that I was on the show.
Yeah, I heard in an interview with Mike O'Malley after he had left Guts, he was in the same situation where everybody in Hollywood had seen it as kind of a kid show, but he's come out of that shadow, so that's pretty awesome. So
yeah, man, it's a good time for us. You know, nostalgia is coming back. It's roaring back. People, you know, miss that old stuff. I'm guessing because it's like the times of now are just so trying and hard and so serious that people want to just go back to that childhood. So, you know, I'm happy to rep the all swag all day. And so, yeah, if anything Nickelodeon, y'all hit me up. I'm glad to repost and be a part of it. So hit me up.
Did you learn any? I'm getting tongue-tied. Did you learn any good life lessons while you were doing all that you still apply to your life today?
That's a good question. You know, and looking back at the people that really prevailed and became uber successful from the show, I would say that guy Nick Cannon taught me a lot of life lessons. We have both come from San Diego. Our parents were pretty cool, and we have similar stories as far as our background. But the way he was able to capitalize and catapult from the show, he was a little bit older than me, so he could actually get in there with the adults and mix around. But, you know, he definitely taught me a level of hustle that I would like to apply to my life now, that I do apply to my life now. But I don't know if you know, but it's a story that he was actually the hype man for the show. He hyped up the audience. And he was doing stand-up in the breaks while we were actually in the skits. And basically, he worked his way onto the show, which is just unheard of. So by seasons 5, like I was there seasons 4, he was in the audience. By seasons 5 and 6, I think he had went on Kenan and Kel first. He had become friends with Kenan and Kel. And, you know, a little behind the scenes, when there was a rift with Kel and his contracts and stuff, it was possible that Nick Cannon would step in there as that role to play off Kenan, which is why you get certain skits like the Inconvenience Store, and they was playing off each other. And like I said, he had made an appearance on Kenan and Kel as well. So I think that was kind of like a backup plan for them. And so, but he worked his way literally onto the cast, which, like I said, is just unheard of. What's up to my guy Whole Live? Yeah, in the chat. But yeah, Nick Cannon, he worked his way onto the cast, and obviously we see where he's at now. He got a relationship with Will Smith, had relationships with Brandy, had his own shows developed for him, and became executive producers in a lot of the projects that he did after all that. So, you know, I look at his hustle and I look at his grind, and that's definitely something I would take away as a life lesson, something that I still apply. And, you know, I'm working still, you know, it's going to be hard to catch up to that guy, but, you know, we're working at it.
Awesome. All right. So I got 2 more topics I want to address, and then we'll move on to the trivia thing. Because I just learned this yesterday, and I got super excited about it. But I then noticed a bit of a pattern, and almost every single time I post about my brother and me, usually you comment or like.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just because you love the show, or is there another motivation there?
You know what? I honestly, and this is, no shade, but I don't even know if it was you or not the whole time. Anytime I see anything my brother and me, I'm going to comment, just because you know, I'm always pay it forward to those guys. They were definitely a motivation for me to want to be on Nickelodeon. So whether it's you or anything I see, my brother and me, absolutely, I'm going to comment
Yeah.
because one of my favorite characters coming up was that goddamn Goo Punch, man. Goo Punch, hey, Goo Punch, hey, and you know I'm dark skinned. I was a little chubby back then, and I definitely thought I was Goo. Definitely thought I was Goo. And then you know Alfie and Dee Dee was just so well. Alfie in general was just so cool, and Dee Dee was actually probably the person that I was most like, you know, and coming up. So no, I just really loved that show. And then also I am trying to get them on the podcast. So Alfie, Goo, y'all holla at your boy, man.
All right. So looking through filmography, I saw at least listed, correct me if it's mistaken, that you were on the movie Bulworth.
Absolutely.
I love the movie Bulworth.
Mm-hmm.
Alfie was in the same scene as you.
No, we weren't in the same scenes.
Because he was the kid who got the ice cream shoved in his face.
Yeah, so he was one of the bad kids, like kind of out on the streets. I was actually in the family with Halle Berry, Lou Gossett, Jermaine Williams. I want to say I was maybe barely in the movie, but my line definitely got cut. So yeah, I was like Halle Berry's little cousins or one of those, and so when he comes over to the house, I think he comes to the house once. He tries chitlins, so I was at the table or whatever, and then also, you know, we were watching him on TV, and he was just saying that black and white people need to just keep fucking until there's no race, right? And then everybody's jaw drops, like, what did he just say? Like, so I was in that scene, and actually a friend of mine, Jermaine Williams, a big friend of mine, he was on the Jersey. I don't think he's ever been on Nickelodeon, but he was also in like Fat Albert and Great Debaters and stuff like that. That's when we first met. We're still friends to this day. But yeah, and you know, some of my obviously prized moments were meeting Halle Berry on that. And so, and then one more funny story from that set is I got my cousin in the movie, and it's my little cousin DeMonte. And he was just, you know, a cute kid that I had brought on the set. And it was like, oh, he can be part of the family too. It was just a family affair, right? And we had lost touch for whatever reason. You know how family rifts, like his mom and my mom, they get along, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I ain't going to try to put our business out there. But I didn't even know what he looked like after years. And it turns out he's like this huge public figure. He's on the No Jumper podcast, and his name is Lil House Phone. And yeah, so everybody go shout out Lil House Phone. That's my cousin. We actually have a picture of us on the set of Bulworth. I'm gonna be putting up a picture with me, him, and Halle Berry soon. I've just been saving it. But so it was just funny because like, yeah, I didn't know that he was all into the entertainment business until like literally 2 or 3 months ago. But yeah, he's doing very well for himself. Got a great clothing line. But yeah, I ended up getting him in the movie Bulworth as well. So yeah, it was a family affair. Yeah.
All right, so getting away from nostalgia for a bit, what projects have you got going now?
Thanks for asking that, man. So yeah, I got the Prime Nostalgia podcast, where me and my guy Prime is actually in the chat right now. They won't see it on the playback. But yeah, go check us out, Prime Nostalgia Pod on Instagram. We've had great guests like Keenan. We've had Tommy Davidson. We've had Cherry Johnson. We had John Amos, who plays who was in Coming to America. We've had a lot of great actors and actresses, including Jermaine Williams, R.J. Smith, who plays Alan Strange. So definitely a lot of Nickelodeon legends for sure have been on the podcast, including an entire All That cast reunion that included Gabrielle Nevaeh from the newest episodes, all the way back to, obviously we had Kel there, we had Josh there, we had Christy there, all of them, everybody was there. So definitely go check out that specific episode, which you can see on leadboytv.com. So I've got the podcast going, and then I also got a secret project that I'm working on with a group of child stars 3 or 4 of us are from all that. We're getting together. We're telling our stories about those transition years between being on TV and then obviously, the things that we had to do to get into adulthood. And so if you pay close attention, you'll see who's in the cast. It's me. It's Latangela from Taina, Angelique. We've also got Giovanni Samuels. We've got Jermaine Williams. We've got Marquise Wilson, who was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So all of us are getting together and just kind of relating to each other and telling our stories. I can't tell you exactly what it's called or what it is, but stay in tune with @LeeBoy TV. That's me. Follow me and make sure you follow me. And you'll see more and more coming out about that as things go on. And I'm in the executive producer role on that project. So it's something that's near and dear to my heart.
That sounds awesome. I'll be looking for it, and I'll make sure to plug whenever you get it going.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good sized project, man. So definitely, I want to, I appreciate the interview. We want to definitely have all the media outlets, including yourself, like involved. I'll come back around if you don't mind, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, hit me up.
Yep.
All right. So last thing, because I thought it would be a fun thing to do, is I had gone through some of my stuff and I found the old Fresh Out the Box little magazine, and
that's classic right there. People that have that, one, we already know they're true fans. That was like in all the bookstores, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I'm pretty sure I bought mine on because Nickelodeon cheap as hell, Slickalodion.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I bought mine out of Barnes and Nobles or something. I got a couple copies at the house, at my mom's house.
There was one part in our interview with our boy. There was one part in there I thought, ooh, I wonder if this actually got to happen. But somebody asked, in the question it asked, did you ever get the chance to work with Jamie Foxx, Steve Harvey, or Cedric the Entertainer? Because you had commented you wanted to work with him at some point.
I've met all those guys. I don't think that I've worked with them. I know Steve Harvey has seen me work in action. He actually came to some of the plays I did coming up because his co-star who plays Regina on the Harvey show, she's the principal. She's actually was my mentor coming up, Wendy Raquel Robinson. And so she started an acting school in LA called Amazing Grace Conservatory. So she would invite Cedric and Steve Harvey out, and I'm sure that had an influence on why I said I wanted to work with them at the time. And who was the third one? Jamie Foxx. Quick story about Jamie Foxx. Yeah, his daughter was a fan of mine when I met them at the Kids' Choice Awards, which was like, bro, I love Jamie. I was a big fan of Jamie Foxx and Live in Color. So for anyone in connection with him to, want a picture with me and be a fan of mine, was just an amazing experience. So once again, something I wish I would have took more advantage of at the time, but I was just so young and just like wide-eyed. But yeah, Jamie Foxx, I will forever look up to him as a triple threat and as a comedy legend, and as a sitcom legend. The Jamie Foxx show is legendary. So
yeah. All right, so the last thing I thought we'd do is in the back of the book is a whole trivia section. I'm not going to do the whole thing because we'll be here all day. But it's broken up into categories from warm-up, a little harder, a lot harder.
Dr. Stewart, hey, go ahead.
You're fine. It's broken up into sections, a warm-up, a little harder, a lot harder, amazingly hard, and what's the last one here? Practically impossible. I thought we could do 2 of those. And and then anybody who's in the comments, try your hand at it too. So where do you want to start at? Do you want warm up, little harder, lot harder, amazingly hard, impossible?
Let's just go. Yeah, let's go from the bottom to the warm up, and then just go to the top. Let me get my mind jog, my brain going. Let's see what I can do here.
And they're all multiple choice.
Okay, cool.
But some of them are not going to need multiple choice. So let's go with, what restaurant does Ed work at? Let me think about that one.
The Hood Burger? No. Shout out to Culture Experience in Atlanta. They actually have a Hood Burger set up where you can go into the Good Burger, but obviously it's Atlanta, so it's the Hood Burger. But yeah, definitely a Good Burger.
Who is the principal of Dolmont Junior High?
The principal?
Mm-hmm.
William Baines Pimpel. One of my favorite characters. Does everyone know how that pimple goddamn squeeze? You know, he just had like a pump in his hand, and he just you can probably see it in some of the scenes, but yeah, he used to go crazy with that thing. Some of the best behind the scenes moments were just Keenan running around with that damn pimple.
All right, last one on the warm up, and then we'll move to something a little tougher. What does Ashley always say when she introduces herself?
That's me.
That's one.
And shout out to my guy Fidel again. He threw that in the chat earlier. But yeah, if that actually comes up more often than you think. Anytime I want to say that to me, I always just think about Amanda.
Yeah.
Ashley.
All right, we're gonna bump up the difficulty because those are super, super easy. What is the name of Ishbu's foreign land?
Oh, Ishbu.
So here's multiple choice.
All right, cool. I need that.
Ishbuvia,
No.
Ishland,
Okay.
Mega Boo Boo, or Unknown.
Ish Boo Boo. Wait, say it one more time. Give me the multiple choice.
Ishbuvia, Ishland, Mega Boo Boo, or Unknown.
This is actually hard. I'm gonna go with Unknown.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
It is Unknown.
That's good because I was like, I'd never heard of any of those. Because yeah, and thank you Nickelodeon stuff for trying to help out, and Prime. Look, they was trying to throw me the. But I got it, y'all. I got this. You don't have to cheat until I throw. When I do this, if I blink twice, that's when y'all roll it in. All right.
I don't need to phone a friend. What is the name of Super Dude's girlfriend?
I'll take the multiple choice on that. I know Prime's killing me because he already knows. I know too, but I just don't want to get it wrong. So
we got Lois Dame, Penny Lane, Sally Sane, or Daka Herman.
Definitely Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, that's right.
Yeah, and thank you for. I actually needed that because I would have got it wrong. But Penny Lane, is that Elisa? That was Elisa, right? Shout out to Elisa. And then it came. Did it become Angelique, or was it?
It was Angelique. It was Angelique.
Excuse me, my bad. My bad. Oh, let me give my sister her credit. My bad, Angelique.
And we'll just do a couple more. What is the name of the loud librarian? So multiple choice on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Shushkowitz, Miss Demeanor.
That's hilarious.
Miss Blaring, or Miss Hushbaum.
Wow. I don't know. Hushkowitz, Miss Demeanor, Miss. What was the other two?
Miss Blaring and Miss Hushbaum.
I'm going to go with because I think it's the most. I'll just say. Somebody gave me the answer. I think in the chat, but I'm gonna go with Hushkowitz because that's what I was gonna go through. I think it's wrong.
It is Miss Hushbaum.
It is Miss Hushbaum. Thank you, Nickelodeon stuff. They did let me know that in the chat, but I had to stay true to my answer, which I didn't think it was Hush. When you first said it, I was like, it's not Hushkowitz. But I don't remember them saying Miss Hushbaum too much. But
I don't think they ever did. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had it just as a plaque or a name tag or something. I don't think they ever said her name.
Okay, yeah, because I don't remember.
At least not that I can recall. That they may have, but I don't remember it. All right, so we'll do two more. How much did it cost for Coolio to eat at Good Burger?
All right.
Was it?
Yeah, I definitely need the multiple choice. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Was it $8? His pants? Nothing. Coolio's eat free. Or Coolio never ate at Good Burger.
I'm gonna go with Coolio never ate at Good Burger.
It is nothing.
Wait. Let me give a second answer.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna say, I don't think Coolio would take his pants off. I would say Coolios don't have to pay at Good Burger.
That's the one. Coolio,
Right.
nothing. Coolio's eat free.
Right. That sounds like something Ed would say for sure.
All right, let's see.
It was Ed that told him that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Coolio's ate free, bro.
All right, last one. And this is from the USS Spaceship. What nationality is Keenan's Scottish accented Officer Ulster on the USS Spaceship? Was he Scottish, Japanese, American, or Martian?
I'm gonna go with Martian.
He was Japanese.
What? Look, oh Lord, is this just the second level? We got 2 more levels to go.
Oh no, that was an impossible one.
Okay, cool. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, I didn't do the whole thing because we'd be here all day if we did the whole thing.
Man, so yeah, obviously I got some work to do, some homework and research to definitely work on. You know, I'll just say that I have Paramount Plus, so everybody definitely go subscribe to that. Not that I'm getting anything off it. That's just a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story right there. But yeah, definitely go watch some of those old episodes so you guys can be a little bit better than me at this trivia thing, because like I said, my kids don't watch, so I don't have the time to watch. Not yet. But we're gonna go through it all. I know they have seasons 1 through 5 on there, I believe. And so yeah, it's definitely a good time going back and watching those things.
And obviously without the musical guests, because as he had mentioned earlier, because of the rights with the music and all that. But still, you got the sketches, so
I think that's why I kind of was like, I watched a couple and I'm like, man, because it just seems like it goes by so fast. They don't have the musical guests. They don't have, even when the guests come into the scene, because usually the guests would do a scene or something, and then they would kind of transition into the live performance. But even those parts are missing, so it's a little bit of a downer, not gonna lie, but still good to see those skits though.
Yeah, and Prime confirmed it's seasons 2 through 5 on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
so
going on with all those scenes and episodes.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much for all this. It's been a blast talking with you and sharing these messages and the memories. One more time, where can everybody follow you at and all the podcasts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, follow me at LeeBoy TV on pretty much all the socials. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, also on YouTube. And get in tune with that. I recently joined up with Big Two Management, Club 6. They brought up people like Junebug, who does the Junebug dance. So hopefully you'll see more and more coming out of that. Like I mentioned, I have a Child Star project that I'm working on with Angelique, with Latangela, with my son Jordan, who's yelling outside the door. He's going to be making an appearance. We've got Marquise, we've got Giovanni, a bunch of people from Nickelodeon and beyond, Jermaine Williams as well. So we got that going on. And then on the Prime Nostalgia podcast, this week we're talking about one-hit wonders, which, you know, I brought up the name Coolio as a one-hit wonder. He's got a couple hits. It's a little disrespectful to call him a one-hit wonder. He's obviously got the the Kenan and Kel intro. He's got Fantastic Voyage, who brought that up, but obviously we know him from I forgot his one hit. But yeah, Gangsta's Paradise.
Yep.
So yeah, we're talking about one hit wonders this week on the Prime Nostalgia podcast. Prime is in the chat right now, so make sure you follow him as well and the Prime Nostalgia Pod. And yeah, just stay in tune with your boy, man. We got a great Space Jam episode coming up. I can tell you right now, we're talking to the 3 kids that played Jordan's kids in the original movie when Bugs Bunny went and got the shorts. So we got those 3 kids coming up on the Space Jam episode. So make sure you stay in tune for the next couple weeks.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and hope to hear from you again sometime soon.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'll come back on when I got some more things to plug, man. I can't wait.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, peace.
Have a good one, guys.